It's already July 17th, which means the event is also more than halfway done. Yeah, welcome to part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, maybe take a look. And if you did, let's move on right away. My next target is Aster. And in my opinion, she really has a hand for character design. She has 3 universes, and the one that really caught my interest was Circus of Dreams. And well, she has 47 characters, which made it really hard to choose. But my pick landed on names that I cannot pronounce. But translated, they mean sun and star. I hope it's alright that I refer to them this way, because I cannot pronounce French for the life of me. Well, they are actually twins, but polar opposites to that. If you look at the designs, you can see that both of them are clowns. I'm gonna try to pronounce the name anyway.
Soleil.
Soleil is a pretty eccentric person, but he's also kind of charming. And as we can see, his color palette is warm, and he's probably based off the sun. Whereas his sister is pretty reserved and timid. She has a cold color palette and is probably based off stars. Now, what scenario to draw them in? Well, both of them are not only clowns, but trapeze artists. No idea how to make that work, but I want to make it work. Obviously, I want to draw them swinging in the air. And that's exactly the problem, because that's not easy to draw. Okay, we have a swing and we have a million different options. Okay, maybe one of them is hanging upside down and is holding the other one, who's making a pretty pose like this. But how in the world am I gonna take a reference for this? And a more easy one. Maybe one of them is sitting here and the other one is hanging down. But I think that would be too boring. I think it's gonna be something like this. And the one on top of the swing is probably gonna be our sunshine boy. And that is why I want the top of the scene to be rather bright and of course reflect off him. And then the bottom is gonna be cool and dark with probably some stars and maybe some really faint light coming from below. And the entire background is of course gonna be some kind of circus tent. That looks like a prison. Let me take the reference pics. Alright, I came to the conclusion that the only realistic way to approach this is to do it upside down, like turn the picture upside down, because I do not have the possibilities to do otherwise. I have my stick like this. Oh my god. I mean, that's not too bad, but yeah. I can only hold it like less than a second. Okay, this one's good. Then what's she doing? I'm gonna try to jump. Maybe I should take a different approach, which is this. First leg. And then the second leg. I'm positive that this is actually going to work. Let's cut this out. Now turn it around and cut out her. I just really hope that it matches. Moment of truth. Not too bad. And here I only have to cut out the leg. Oh, it liquefies my head as well. This is kind of it. Here's the ropes. The background is dark, but yellow light is coming from above. Cool light is coming from the bottom. There's stars at the bottom. But now we have blank spaces. Here and here. I want to fill this space with her clothes. The top left, I don't know. We're gonna see. And of course, they are in a circus tent. Ta-da! I'm gonna have so much fun drawing it. I love the aesthetic. The outfits just keep getting more detailed and detailed. But I have to admit there's something relaxing about just color picking the colors from the reference and sorting them onto my drawing. Until there's the rendering. The rendering that's still just a cleanup. This time I clipped a color burn mask over both of them and erased the areas where the light hits. And I kept the opacity pretty high because especially in circus tents and places like this, really harsh contrast created by light coming from above looks just right. And then there's the blue light from the bottom. I kind of had a big issue making her face look right, but you know, sleeping a night and continuing on the next morning was just the right decision, because then I was ready for rendering, and I rendered a lot. The finishing touches this time were the lights in the background and a partial motion blur on some of the clothes and the edges. So this is what we have now. It's attack number 6 and it took me 5 hours. The number of attacks has calmed down a bit, but despite that I still have 10 new ones to show you. The first one is a portrait of Arenia and she looks really cute here. The artist was worried that it's too stylized, but no, I actually really like her in your style. Then a whole new approach to Fianna's ability is this one, because she absolutely looks like a villain here. The lighting and the rendering look really cool too. I think Fianna's kind of a fan favorite because here she is again. And this one is inspired by her falling into water at the beginning of the story. And it looks so pretty. And as you know, she's able to delete memories. So here she is burning film tape of memories. And I think it's funny because the artist had the concept in their head already, but was looking for a fitting character. And then finally their decision landed on Fianna, and I couldn't be more happy. Fianna's brother Lynn looks so pretty here. Kind of looks like he's made for this art style. As you can see, he's at an event, and I really like how it is depicted in the background. This one is so cute because Zach is like wildly mixing liquids into a pot, and Mace is probably cheering him on, or he's trying to stop him. We don't know, but he's enthusiastic. Next we have a family photo, and you absolutely nailed the expressions. They're so fitting to their characters, and I also love the art style. Then once again we have Zach being the unhinged scientist that he is. This time going completely overboard with a red liquid, and his laboratory looks a bit destroyed. And the last one so far is Lynn again, and this one's pretty simple, but I actually really like it because the way he's looking over his shoulder just looks right. By the way, this artist is called Stein, which means rock in English, and they just draw characters as rocks. Just a fun fact on the side because I've never seen that before. Yeah, thank you once again for submitting so many attacks. What's missing? Mermaid. I came across the account Divine Ghoul, and she has some really cool monster mech girl designs that partially remind me of the 2010s. Out of all of them, I picked Scanaria. I hope that was pronounced right. Scanaria is kind of an anglerfish robot lady who is like 4 times as big as a regular human being. Now she does not only look cool, but the story also got me. She's an abandoned project that was left by the people who made her. So they basically dumped her in an empty swimming pool in an abandoned public swimming area. Abandoned pools, everyone. Abandoned pools. Well, now it says empty swimming pool, but I'm gonna change that up a little bit and fill the swimming pool with some water. The first image in my mind is murky gray-green water with half her head poking out of the water, and her antenna is reflecting off the water. But of course, not drawing the entire design would be a crime. So let me try to put her halfway underwater. Like the head is here, and then the body is kind of here, and the fin is coming out of the water. Now also we have a swimming pool, right? Now I could fill that swimming pool with either a bit of water or make it full of water. Yeah, I don't know yet. And that is why taking reference pictures will spark my inspiration. This perspective is quite unusual because this time the phone's gonna be the one looking down on me. Let me set it up like this. Right. Oh, my ventilator is coming with me. No, I kind of want to lie down like this and then look at the camera. This is going to be interesting. First try. Okay, now different approach. Pillow. Absolutely not. Well, my idea was to have the head up like this, so it's poking out of the water, and the water level is like here. But actually, I think the reference is great. I think I'm actually gonna use it. It's probably the quickest one so far. Let's go. She obviously doesn't have feet, so I kind of have to turn this into a tail. Which direction should it go in? I think it's gonna go right, and then left, and then here's the fin, maybe? And also the background. If I lose it completely, I also lose the entire perspective. So I'm gonna use it as a reference to make the grid of the pool. Like this, right? Okay, I told you I want to make it green. Her fin is white. I do not like the perspective here. So this is poking out of the water. Oh, this is too green. This part here is poking out of the water. And then like my face, maybe my hands, but everything else is underwater. And you can still see it, but underwater. And what I also told you, the rod, this part is like glowing. Then it's reflecting off the water. This looks so cursed. But I promise you that I'm gonna make this work. Okay, you may think that drawing the line art for this character is kind of a pain, but in reality it was actually pretty relaxing. I don't know why, it was just really satisfying to draw all the mech black parts. It's just a really unique design and I enjoyed drawing it. With the colors, I also added the water effect pretty early on, as well as the surrounding dark water and a shadow beneath her. Because, well, that's the base I needed to actually start rendering. As you can see, I decided her antenna to be the main light source. And then there's a bit of surrounding light to not make the whole scene too dark. I also distorted the background to give it a watery effect. Then I rendered all the metal parts to make them look like actual metal. And in the end, I thought that it was still too bright, so I made it darker. And I really like how it looks now. It's really ominous and it has exactly the effect I was trying to achieve. So this is attack number 7. Well, I thought it kind of calmed down, but here's 20 new attacks. The first one is a chat room. Someone's texting with Lynn, and they're texting, I really can't make it tonight. Then Lynn's responding, oh, come on, it'll be fun. I promise I won't bite. He then sent this picture and wrote, unless you want me to. Well, I guess we all know who he's texting. I like this, it's really creative. Then, since I did this attack, I actually got revenged. And as you can see, it's Fianna and Talon visiting the cafe. Lydia is there as well, of course. And Arenia is behind Fianna because she wanted to surprise her. I think that's a really cute idea, and also you have such a pretty art style. Next we have Talon actually giving therapy to someone else's OC, and he looks so cute here. I think that's something that Talon definitely would do. Then the apparently favorite character of my community, Fianna again. I get it, I like her too. And this is such a beautiful idea, this looks so cool. What's also gorgeous is this, Talon in a flower garden, and this is such a beautiful scenery. This is the exact right environment to put Talon in. Now to bring in a bit of sea aesthetic again, Lydia with fish, and the angle, the blurred fish, the lighting, the colors, it's beautiful. I had someone comment that they can't get enough of Lynn, so here he is again in OG fashion. This is just the perfect fashion style for him. Oh, this is so beautiful. I also really like this one. It's Arenia floating in water, and I don't know, it looks really nice and peaceful, and I want to be there with her. The next one is a pretty funny one, because here we have Neris with Selena's clothes posting a status update, and they wrote, help, Selena's gonna kill me. Then we have a follow-up of Selena proving them right because Neris washed her clothes with probably red laundry. Selena doesn't wear pink clothes. She's angry. Then here's Neris with a ringtail. I actually didn't know that this animal existed, and the creator didn't either, but it's really cute. It looks really cute. Neris would definitely have one of these. Then we have Lydia with a new kind of outfit interpretation that I really like. She's serving drinks, and I really like the pose here. It's like she's doing a twirl. It has movement, and it looks good. Then here we have Neris in front of what looks to be a forest during sundown. First of all, I think they look really cool here. Second of all, they would be near a forest during sundown. I just don't know what they're doing, but they would be there. And here's Neris again, but this time not in a forest, with this time 4 pets, and they all have names. We have Mango, the kiwi bird. We have Thor, the frog. We have Carbonara, the fennec fox, and Everest, the giant snail. I actually didn't know that snails this big existed. And what I also like about this is the tie. It just fits Neris really well. Next up, beach vibes again. Arenia floating in the water with some ducks, and Fianna simping over her. Understandably, look at her. She's incredibly pretty in this art style. Then, as usual, when people draw Zach, he's experimenting with some suspicious substances again. This time with a yellow substance though. And I like how crazy he looks here. So I actually reveal a bit about the story, and this is the beginning of my story. Like when Arenia saves Fianna from the water in the middle of the night, and it's so beautiful. This is exactly how I imagine it. Then we have our next person attacking twice. The creator of this attack attacked Selena this time, with Neris in the corners, and Selena looks kind of irritated by them. I think that's really cute. Thank you so much for attacking again. Selena's sister, Fianna, actually has a new outfit here, and I told people that I'd love to see new outfit interpretations, and I think this one is really fitting. Then once again, we have a creator who usually doesn't draw humans, but they did for me, and it looks pretty good, especially because you're not used to drawing humans. You did a great job. Then another one that also made me laugh. Mace telling Zach to please not blow his laboratory again, and Zach is like, maybe. I actually like how expressive they are here, and Zach looks very unhinged as usual. So that's all of the attacks. It's 97 so far. I do not know how to express my gratitude. Just know that I do really appreciate it. And I guess it's time to make my next attack now. This is my next target. They also have a bunch of cool characters. And the one I picked is something I've never seen before. You're gonna see why. This is Mal. Mal is a computer program ruling over a technology-based country. She can appear on any screen, and in general it just looks like she's based on computer malware. And she seems to be really hostile, and I'm intrigued. And a bit scared, because her design is just line art. And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with line art, but I kind of really want to challenge myself to draw her. So let's see what we can do. So I obviously want her to appear on a screen. But what kind of screen and how many? You know, it could be one, it could be two or three, or like many, like those surveillance camera rooms with many screens. Or you know, some kind of secret base kind of thing, because then we have like many screens here and she's kind of chilling over all the screens. For example, I was also thinking of one leg being outside of the screens, but that leg is then glitching. Like, I want to make it big, I want to make it dark, because she seems like a really evil, powerful virus. So I do want to use an environment that's usually very heavily protected against viruses. I'm going to use the couch. This is going to be the screen. Let me explain. I basically wanted this area to be computer screens and her chilling in them. And then everything below this is not a screen anymore. Does that make sense? Let me take one picture. No, no, no. The perspective with the foot just doesn't look good. What about if I lie down? Looks way too flat. Let me maybe put my phone higher. For some reason it's so hard for me to picture this right now. I don't know why. I think the foot is too much in reality, like out of the frame. Oh, that looks... No, I need to lean against the screen. Let me just take this one. I don't know why taking the reference for this is so hard, but I think I can make it work. Right, so my idea was, here's the character, and then the screens that she's on are like here, 6 screens. But then her leg is like coming out of the screens. And I think I'm gonna make the background of the screens pitch black, but she is glowing, so the screens are also emitting some kind of glow. And then this here is just a work table and her leg is glitching. And I put the left leg out of the screens on purpose because she has a little like bunny sock on it and I want to display that. As expected, this is the fastest attack so far. I mean, doing the line art didn't take that much time on its own, and it was actually pretty relaxing and fun once in a while to not have to render everything. The thing I struggled most with was the screens. Now, first of all, I put some sort of static effect in the background and that looked kind of good, but like I didn't know how to make the light they emit look realistic because they are pitch black after all. So I just experimented, added elements in the surrounding area, and also like the workstation I planned to create on the bottom turned into just a floor. I have to admit I was kind of lost, but then I made the whole thing darker and that's when it started looking just right. I refined some of the screen edges, I added cables on the top, and all that was left was refinements. And that's it. This is attack number 8, the fastest one so far. Well, as you can see, it's pretty cold today and I'm kind of in a low mood because the weather's like rainy. But maybe I'll get into a more positive mood once I make the next attack. So the next attack is a revenge again. Or, well, I think it's just friendly fire back because they're from the same team. But anyway, I'm getting back at Lyra the Fox. She attacked me with this beautiful attack of Fianna. And I am gonna attack her character, Leska, which in my opinion has a really cool design. She's a weapon mechanic and her hair glows in the dark. Because, you know, it's just a little radioactive. She actually becomes the villain of the story, causing her to lose the friendship with her friend Nakiri, becoming enemies. And though I kind of considered drawing this, I think I still rather want to draw her building stuff. But we have a lot of options here, so let's see what we can do. What do mechanics do? They have tools, first of all. This one, for example. But this isn't bringing me anywhere. I do have an idea in my mind, though. And it has something to do with the colors. She has green hair and orange eyes. That's kind of a complementary contrast. And I want to build up on that. And the thing I was thinking of was sparks. Like if you work on metal and sparks start flowing, flying, like this. Like orange sparks. But we need a scenario. Okay, maybe this is a table and she's standing behind it, holding something onto a saw? I don't know, maybe a sword. And of course, sparks. Yeah, maybe she has a sword in her hands and is like grinding it on... I do not know enough about anything. But simply explain, saw, weapon, put together, but not just any weapon, big weapon. Either like this or with a hammer. On the sword. That's what mechanics... No, not mechanics, that's swordsmiths. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna design a really futuristic sword so that it makes sense for her job. Or like this. Okay, I have a couple of techniques. And before I choose, I just want to show you the lighting. I want her and the things that are on the same level as her or in the foreground to be dark and the background to be brighter. So I need a work table, and what is better than my actual work table? But since I want the light to come from behind, I have to change something up because I don't have enough space here. So let me rearrange some things. I can't tell if this is stupid or not. Wait, maybe this is stupid. I have to experiment a bit. It's a normal part of the process. Don't worry. I could just do it like this. The light's here behind me, the table is here. This light needs to be turned off. And now we basically just need to set up the station. Okay, this is a casual first one. Let's top it up a bit. With some perspective. And the perspective can't even be seen on the photo. Okay, hammer time. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it broke. Tools. Let me get tools. This one here. Wait, I think you cannot grab a sword on the blade. Okay, this is the one I like best so far. I don't know how to incorporate the sparks flying, but I think I'm going to use this. Perspective-wise, I just like it most. And that's it. Okay, the picture itself is actually pretty good. And what I'm gonna do is make myself and the sword darker to have a higher contrast from the background. And then I just need some cables. Oh, that's a thick cable. Some cables and even more cables that will be blurred to the foreground. Maybe some other stuff that's also in the foreground, but also blurred. And the sword has like lines through it to make it look more interesting and futuristic. And I actually think that the warm elements here are not necessarily sparks, but the light coming from behind. It actually looks quite nice here. I think that's a pretty solid reference. Alright, the beginning stages of this drawing were kind of chill, except that I struggled with the pose a bit, but it was fine. But I soon realized that the lighting I picked was not that easy to do. It's like coming from behind, and her hair is also glowing. So I just started randomly rendering the hair, the metal was all fine. I also added a few elements to the foreground, and then, well, I experimented with light a bit. And I think the warm light from behind was actually, even though it's maybe unrealistic, the right decision to do, because then I could go on to make the background that I already had in mind, which was a lot of elements in beige colors, which I would then just blur. I also detailed the foreground a bit more, and then like the sword was missing something, and I had no picture in my head, and that doesn't happen a lot. So I just freestyled some shapes onto there, and honestly, I don't think it turned out that bad. I additionally made it a bit more dirty, added some rendering to the rest, and in the end, to make the composition look better, I added glowing wire to the foreground, as well as some safety goggles on her head. And that's it. That is attack number 9. Now time for 13 more attacks. First one, Artfight, with a translucent shirt that I actually really like. It fits her sea aesthetic really well, and she looks really cute here. Next up is Neris, and this is actually the artist's first attack ever. I'm honored. Also, Neris looks really pretty in your style. Now here's one that I actually haven't gotten that much. Mace and Lynn in Mace's workshop. And do you see how much detail is added here? Like, it must have taken ages to draw all the tools here. My biggest respect. Also, it's really beautiful. Then what I haven't received at all is a 3D model. That's a 3D model of Fianna. I don't know what to say. You guys are so creative and versatile. Thank you so much. And Fianna again. Fianna with a lot of hair, because this artist likes to draw hair, and I can understand that. And I think the texture in this is beautiful. Then next up, Talon with a plant. As usual, I can make a whole compilation out of this. This is a really sweet version of him. I mean, just look at his face expression. Thank you so much. Next up, we actually have an animation again, and it's Lynn leaving an event. And I love how he's just like putting down the glass and leaving through the door backwards. Now someone attacked me twice. Once again, the artist of this attack drew Neris in skates with another OC that came through Talon's portal. And this is such a cool idea because Neris would definitely wear skates. 100%. Then another one that's so cute. This is Artfight at the beach, and the perspective, first of all, is really impressive. Second of all, she looks really cute, and the colors are just beautiful. Then I got a revenge for this attack of Fianna, of course. She looks so pretty here, especially all the glitter on the skirt and the pose, and It's just beautiful. Then someone's really determined, because the artist of these two attacks attacked me a third time. I already told you, you're spoiling me. You're completely spoiling me. And I mean, I can't complain. I think this is beautiful and I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Then we got an animation again. And this one's so funny. Because you know, Zach's just standing there. And meanwhile, in the background, his experiment is exploding. And he doesn't even notice in the first place. He's just noticing the fire after the explosion. Which indicates that this happened a lot of times, yeah. And this is very canon. And the last one today is also Zach, which is like beautiful. He's gorgeous in your style. This looks so much like official art. I can't explain, I like it. And that's it for today. Thank you so much once again. Let's move on to the next character. Okay, my recent attacks were green, yellow, purple, blue, a lot of colors. Which is why now I want the main color to be red. And I picked out the perfect character. I'm actually revenging this artist. She made this attack for me pretty early on. And now I'm revenging her by drawing Ruby. As you can see, Ruby's color scheme is mainly red, and she's a sword girl inspired by the anime Black Rock Shooter. Now, I haven't watched, neither do I know this anime, but I really like her design, and I'm just gonna draw her in some kind of cool fighting stance. Let me think of a cool pose. The obvious sword fighting stance is this. Something like this. But maybe not from this angle, because I want her red flame over the eye to be seen properly, which means I'm maybe even gonna draw a front view, but I'm not sure yet, because it will maybe look less dynamic than I want it to look. Like, what do I do with this? She's holding the sword, but what are the legs doing? Are they just doing this? This doesn't seem like a great idea. Or maybe she's twisting her body, but she's facing forward. Like this. And also I don't know what environment she's in, but it looks pretty chaotic. I don't know, it seems like a red storm. So of course her hair is flying. Yeah, this is gonna look pretty cool. I trust myself that I can do this. Okay, the light red. The red light looks cool, but it's probably not good as a reference. I think you can see why. Oh, my eyes. Whew. This is my sword. I'm gonna use it to fight you. You know, because Artfight. I need to make it not look weird. Because I am not a trained anything except violin player. See this right here? I do not know how to hold it. I literally do not know how to hold a sword. Do I just grip it? Or do I grip it with one hand? Or definitely not this. I'm just gonna try something out. First try with the sword here. Oh, I'm blending in with the background. Go away. What? Taking reference pics with black clothes is maybe not the best thing, because black surfaces suck in all the light and then you can barely see any shadows or shapes in general. And it's especially bad if it's like a weirdly shaped pant. I do not want to pose like this. It looks very boring. No. No. At this point, I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. Why is this thing shaking? I didn't even touch it. You know what? I'm just gonna take this pose. I don't want to hold the sword in action because it will just look weird. I have to admit, the framing here is not bad. Like, I could scale this up so that I'm completely filling the frame. But this looks cool. I wanna use this. Background dark red. You know what? Just because I want to, I'm gonna trace the pattern of my ceiling. I've got the idea. I'm gonna use this pattern as orientation for cloud formations. If this works, I'm a genius. Kind of filling the areas here roughly to not make it look unrealistic. And then on top, I have another idea. There's a red sun up there, and the entire sky, especially above the clouds, is lighting up red. And since the light is hitting the clouds from the top, they are bright red on the top and dark red on the bottom. And then there's the horizon. Maybe this is the sea, and the sun's reflecting one thing that's still missing: the flame in the eye. Okay, this is it. Didn't expect it to turn out so epic. But yes, let's see if the final result does as well. I did not at all expect this attack to only take me 2 hours. Well, I kinda did, because natural backgrounds are usually done quicker. But before I did the background, I did the sketch and the coloring. And then I immediately did the background. Honestly, working with red is always a challenge, because bright red is just pink and shadows of red light are just black. pure black. It's not the easiest color to work with, and somehow I managed to. Well, you actually can see me struggling with the lighting here, but that issue was resolved pretty quickly because I kind of cheated a bit and added white lighting, because red light makes things appear red, not white. I think that's obvious, and that made it possible for me to create more depth. Luckily, I still had some dark middle red as the darkest shadow, so I could add even darker shadows. And of course, I made the water look a bit more realistic. I added the flame, and then I just rendered it. That's it. That's attack number 10, and my final attack for this video. Well, making multiple parts of Artfight was a good idea. I have to say it was the right decision, and I'm very glad that you enjoy watching them. If your attack is not in this video, don't worry, it will probably in the next one, which I'm gonna start filming right after this. So have a nice day, evening or night, and see you in the next part. Bye!